service to this city and this community, our community here. It really does. I mean, there aren't that, thank God, there aren't that many jobs where when you're going to work in the morning, you might not come home at night. And that's their job. And so, no, it's a sobering experience, but it's well worth it to attend that.
And if I might just add, we completed our Citizen Police Academy just recently, and Michelle Friedman and I both participated. We will graduate school this fall. What that taught me is just how special these police are. They have to, split second, they have to make decisions, life and death decisions. I mean, it's just amazing. And while you have a high esteem for the respect for the police, going through this, I mean, it just puts it on yet another level. So next winter, when they open up again, I highly recommend you sign up to go through this academy. It's a fantastic experience.
Thank you. Alderman Hughes.
Thank you, Mayor. The Architecture Review Board met on May the 4th and took the following actions. A continued review of a new house at 12327 Wildlife Trail to the June 1st meeting. Approved was an addition at 39 Deerfield Drive. Approved was an addition at 1112 Sheffield Manor Court. Approved a new home at 29 Bellevue Country Club grounds. Approved an addition at 849 Salt Mill. It's the city maintenance annex with the condition that windows be added to the two offices. The next meeting of the Architecture Review Board will be held on Monday, June the 1st at 5:30 p.m. And the following will be, have been received to consideration. A new home at 12322 Wildlife Trail, a new home at 12331 Wildlife Trail, a new home at 12343 Wildlife Trail, a new home at 12921 Topping Estates, and a new home at 137 Pebble Acres Court. And the meeting is held at 5:30 p.m. here at the Municipal Center, and as I said every time, all are welcome. Thank you.
Your commission has been busy.
A little bit.
Yeah, you have. That's nice. Alderman Murphy.
Thank you, Chairman. Parks and Trails Commission will be handing out seedlings at the Vince Martin concert on Friday, May 15th from 6 to 8 at Town Square Park. Please visit the website for more information. I've looked at the weather. It's supposed to be nice for the concert, so we're looking forward to seeing the public out there for a really fun evening. Next commission meeting will be held at Longview Farmhouse on Monday, May 18th at 6:30. One of the main agenda items will be the updated trails, walkways recommendations. All are welcome to attend. We anticipate doing a vote on the updated plan. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Sheldon, I think you want to talk about a new little store.
Yeah, we've
Problems.
fielded some complaints up here, and I know some of the aldermen and mayor have as well. A restaurant drive-up opened in unincorporated St. Louis County on Manchester Road called Swig. Initially, it's our understanding they limited access to this facility. It used to be Dunkin' Donuts. Only off Mason Road, which created some traffic havoc. Mason Road is obviously also controlled by St. Louis County. It's not in Town and Country. Manchester's controlled by MoDOT. So it's our understanding, and Chief Wilkie went by today, they've now allowed access off of Manchester Road, although limited. It has helped to ease the traffic. We will continue to monitor it. We have a dialogue with St. Louis County Police Department to keep them informed as issues arise. We've not had any delays caused by this for our police or fire responders, but we will continue to keep an eye on this. If anybody has concerns, Morgan has put out information on how to contact St. Louis County Police Department.
Good. Clarkson, I care, block off, they're part of the road that connects.
I believe it's an open easement, a dedicated access across, and they just operate the business and don't control the land. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you. I now recognize the board's opportunity to ask questions on the April payable report. Good. And now there's time for our facilities update on the maintenance annex presentation. I would welcome David Bradley to navigate to the podium for a brief presentation.
Good evening, everyone. Last we met, we were preparing to go out for bid on the maintenance annex, and that's the update I want to provide for you. So we did receive bids on April 30th. We did receive 8 complete bids, and just showing on the left side there, the low bid was just over 2 million, and the high bid was 2.6 million, average bid 2.3, and our budget that we prepared at the DD, the design development level, was also 2.3 million. So right where we thought we would be, middle of the pack. It's a good place to be, again, with a high-low range. Also, we want to take a close look at duration. So again, our low bid was 145 calendar days. We recognize that that was probably an incorrect number, and we'll show that in a minute. The high bid was 325 calendar days, average bid 256. Our schedule that we put together was 249 calendar days. So again, kind of in the average where we want to be. So we did have a pre-award meeting on May 4th. The City of Town Country staff attended, as well as myself and the low contractors. The focus of the discussion was company size and staffing. We want to make sure it's appropriate for the project. Bonding capacity and backlog. We don't want them to be in a bad position going into the project. We did check and discuss their references, pricing, schedule, subcontractor list, site logistics, lead times and procurement, identified any concerns, project risks, and discuss the project specific. We want to know the bidder knows the job that they bid on. Contractor 1, we did recognize, again, the low calendar days. In those discussions, we discovered they did have missing scope. They did have an error in their schedule, and that equates to dollars. So we, again, looked at the contractor number 2 the same afternoon. Higher price, longer schedule, but we'll see on the next slide that it was around was it on the attachment? It was on the attachment, I believe. So we have the information that all the bids, you can see that there was definitely a grouping of contractors 2 through 7. You know where the right number is, you know where the right duration is, and contractor 2 fit at the low end of that bunch there. So one of the missing scopes of work on contractor 1 was soil remediation. We want to make sure this is built on firm foundation. They included all weather days. The contractor has all risk of all weather days. If they miss a day because of snow or rain or what have you, it's on them to make up those days within that duration. They understood that, and they bid the schedule accordingly. Contractors got good size staff, so we have no concerns there, and all of their references came back with very positive comments. So you'll see later in the agenda, we are proposing to move forward with contractor LCS LLC for the sum of $2.247 million and 304 calendar days. Assuming second reading is at the next meeting, we will mobilize in mid-June. Start some construction. You can see again, the last update was the DD, the design development estimate, and you can see on the construction estimate, we came down to the 2.4 million. So that DD estimate included some contingency escalation and a construction cost. With the bids in hand, we were able to remove the escalation cost. We still have a 10% contingency on the number, and we're still, as you can see on the 128, we are still under the budget, the estimate that we provided for you at the last meeting. Since the first estimate, the SD schematic design, we are down $369,000. So we're definitely moving in the right direction towards the budget, which we had set at the 3.4 million.
I'm just curious, I was slightly worried we might get one bid. I mean, it seems like a lot of bids. I'm not in that industry. Is that an average? No, tell me about that a little bit.
We are seeing that on multiple projects. Things do seem to be slowing down. Some of the backlog with federal grant money, et cetera, some of the public jobs are slowing down, so you're getting more interest. We do make an effort to reach out to the normal common players in the region with phone calls, emails, and just trying to drum up interest in the project. But I think we had 14 general contractors at the pre-bid and received 8 bids on bid day. But we are seeing a slowdown.
Okay. Thank you. And speaking of the board, we're happy when we're under budget.
Excuse me, where does the 10% contingency come from? That doesn't look like 10%.
It's built into the 2.4 million. So what we took was LCS's number, the 2.2, and added roughly the 10%.
Okay. I just
So the contract amount we are requesting is the 2.2 number. But we are also asking for the contingency. As we know, we discussed, the Architectural Review Board mentioned adding some windows. That would come out of contingency. We've got early discussions with some of the permitting and utilities. Until those designs are fully approved, there's some potential for additional costs there as well, and that would come out of contingencies.
Alderman Murphy.
Thank you. So on prior meetings, I was kind of aggressive on questions for navigating all that kind of stuff. So first off, excellent work to get it to where this is right now. 2 questions that I have. One is, what's your sense of why it is coming in under the budget? I mean, it's close enough to not be shockingly different, but is it a buyer's market right now, or materials loosening up, or what's going on?
Yeah, materials are not loosening up.
Yeah.
No, just with the industry, commercial industry slowing down, you're getting more competitive bids. Subcontractors are also slowing down, so you're getting more subcontractors per trade bidding on the work. And we also had them, there's a number of reasons, but MSD also came back with a design change that was in our favor, that we no longer have to have a forced main, we can have a gravity sewer. That's dollars reduced. So just all of those combined.
Then my second question is, I looked at the list of projects that LCS has been doing the last few years. It's very impressive, a lot of firehouses and public works facilities and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of buildings that are very similar to this in design, single story, I guess is what I call it, and kind of real functioning buildings inside, not just office space and all that kind of good stuff. I don't know if you've done any investigation or checking up on some of those projects. Did they get, do those projects have any surprise factors where, things got more than expected on the contingency factors and all that?
So I was on Winsville Public Works with LCS, and there were some design conflict there with the fluids piping for the equipment, not the contractors doing, but we were able to absorb a lot of that. And they, as a company, they're pretty proactive at looking for ways to save money or build value into the contract as it is. So looking for ways to offset those additional costs. We had some of their references, Cottonville Fire Department, for one. One of the comments he made was, the assistant chief made was, the additional, they went with the number 2 bidder as well, the higher cost. And that value that they spent more, they got back in the savings, in the benefits of redesign, what have you, for the function of the fire district. So,
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you, sir.
good comments from their references.
Yeah, thank you.
Mayor, if I could add one other thing that David mentioned to us and the bidder as well, that we had a good set of architectural design from H Design that made it, they were accurate to bid. So that also helped with our number.
Yeah, the bunching of the numbers, the grouping of the numbers tells you that the design was consistent and clear for the bidders.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would now invite a motion that the Board of Aldermen holds a closed meeting with a closed record and vote on Tuesday, May 26, 2026, beginning at 5:30 PM for matters relating to legal issues and personnel matters in accord with the provisions of section 610.021 and 1 and 610.0213 with the revised statute of Missouri. I seek a motion and second to approve.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? That's the city clerk for roll call vote.
Alderman Friedman.
Here.
Alderman Gerber.
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman Harder.
Aye.
Alderman Sawyer.
Aye.
And Alderman Hughes.
Aye.
It carries unanimously and will be posted as noted.
Thank you. Now, next moving on to unfinished business, bill number 26-13, sponsored by the board as a whole without objection. Will the city clerk read bill number 2613 for the second time?
Bill number 2613 is an ordinance accepting the bid and authorizing an agreement with Sweeten's Sealing Services for the 2026 crack sealing program.
Thank you. Seek a motion and a second to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion or amendment? Good. Alderman Harder.
I just wanted to say, compliment our Public Works Director on this bid coming in at like 50% of the budget. Phenomenal job. So, that was all.
So we could do two.
Huh?
We could do two.
Put two votes on.
Yeah, I was just curious, I saw a map that we drew, and a lot of that map is Clayton Road that we just covered, so maybe that's why it was half the price, because you're not gonna have any cracks.
cracks.
Okay.
I would ask the city clerk for a roll call vote.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman Gerber.
Aye.
Alderman Harder.
Aye.
Alderman Friedman.
Aye.
Alderman Sawyer.
Aye.
Alderman Hughes.
Aye.
The bill passes unanimously and becomes ordinance number 4741.
Thank you. Next bill number 26-14, also sponsored by the board as a whole. Without objection, would the city clerk read bill number 2614 for the second time?
Bill number 2614 is an ordinance authorizing the city administrator to execute an agreement with various St. Louis County municipalities relative to public works mutual aid assistance in emergency situations.
Thank you. Seek a motion and second to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion or amendment? Alderman Murphy.
Earlier, I sent some notes and questions on this one, just as it relates to FEMA funding on, a tornado or some kind of natural disaster. If you could expand a little bit on, how this would work as it relates to any FEMA funding that would come through on an event.
Yes, if it's declared an emergency by FEMA, and FEMA's gonna cover it, then all the costs associated with it that we track and would then be paid through the FEMA assistance.
Thank you.
Alderman Harder.
The only thing I noticed going through the list, Creve Coeur wasn't on there, and neither was Kirkwood and Webster. Have they had the opportunity to join this, or did they just?
Yeah, everybody has the opportunity to join
They,
it. All municipalities in the St. Louis County area.
pardon me?
Yeah, all municipalities in St. Louis County area are eligible to join it.
So they decided they weren't
They just
interested?
didn't wanna, they just didn't.
Or some may not have yet. Some may
Yeah,
still be
They can
moving.
still do it later.
through the
Okay, I was
process.
just curious.
Yeah.
Because all of them around us, with the exception of Creve Coeur.
Yeah.
Is on the
Right,
list.
right.
I would ask the city clerk for a roll call vote.
Alderman Hughes.
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman Harder.
Aye.
Alderman Sawyer.
Aye.
Alderman Gerber.
Aye.
And Alderman Friedman.
Aye.
The bill passes unanimously and becomes ordinance number 4742.
Thank you. Next bill number 2615, sponsored by Alderman Sawyer. Without objection, would the city clerk read this bill 2615 for the second time?
Bill number 2615 is an ordinance authorizing the city administrator to engage UMB Bank for the provision of primary banking services on behalf of the city of Town and Country for a period of not less than 5 years.
Thank you. I seek a motion and second to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion or amendment? I would ask the city clerk for a roll call vote.
Alderman Sawyer.
Aye.
Alderman Friedman.
Aye.
Alderman Harder.
Aye.
Alderman Gerber.
Aye.
Alderman Hughes.
Aye.
And Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
The bill passes unanimously and becomes ordinance number 4743.
Thank you. Next bill number 2616, sponsored by the board as a whole, without objection. Did the city clerk read this bill 2616 for the second time?
Bill number 2616 is an ordinance authorizing the city administrator to execute a letter agreement with Horner and Schifrin for engineering and surveying services associated with the Drace Park and Longview Farm Park sidewalk replacement project.
Thank you. Seek a motion and second to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion or amendment? I would ask the city clerk for a roll call vote.
Alderman Gerber.
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman Sawyer.
Aye.
Alderman Hughes.
Aye.
Alderman Friedman.
Aye.
And Alderman Harder.
Aye.
The bill passes unanimously and becomes ordinance number 4744.
Thank you very much. Next, moving on to new business, resolution number R04-2026, a resolution adopting a 2026 summer meeting schedule for the Board of Aldermen for the months of June, July, and August. Seek a motion and second to approve.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Alderman Hughes.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a question. Is this the first time the city has done this, or?
First that I'm aware of, many other municipalities go to a summer schedule. I don't believe since Ashley's been here that the city has done it, but
Okay.
it's common in many other municipalities.
I'm pretty sure my friends in Japan do that.
Of course, yes.
Would it set a precedent?
Not necessarily, it's up to the board on an annual basis.
And this has a built-in sunset. We're saying only for June, July, and August of this year. So
Okay.
I don't believe so, especially because it's a resolution. We would have to change the code
Okay,
to change the regular meeting schedule.
okay, thank you.
Alderman Harder.
2 questions.
Wait, did you have another one?
No, those are my 2 questions.
Alderman Harder.
In the unlikely event that we would need a second meeting, how difficult is it to recall one? Say something goes wrong with Public Works, or we've got the Longview parking lot project, or a lot of things. How difficult is it to reschedule the missing meeting?
I still have to post the exact same amount of notice and agendas whether we cancel or not. So it would just be removing the word canceled from it and we would have business. At that first meeting of the month that would be scheduled, you guys would just say you're calling that meeting back up and we'd post it under the sunshine law and it wouldn't be difficult.
Okay, on the same thing, I'm just curious, Kirby, what if we had, even we had like 2 meetings a month, every other week, but something kind of 5 days in and 7 days before the next one, we had a real catastrophe, a school hit by a tornado wiped out, or, I mean, is there potential we could call an emergency meeting easily?
You guys are empowered to call meetings anytime, really. We just have to follow the sunshine law rules with posting.
Okay,
So you can, and even then, there's rules for true emergencies when we don't have notice. So absolutely, you guys can call them. It's just like retreats or, work sessions. You guys can call them at any time as long as I'm meeting the posting requirements.
hopefully we'll never need an
Yeah.
emergency based on those things. Alderman Murphy.
Thank you. Just in terms of some of the bigger projects we have coming up, I know we have the dam to get people here. Thank you again for the update on the maintenance project. But we've got the firehouse, we've got this building as well. What is the cadence that we expect for estimates to come in over
Yeah.
the next several months?
And I think I've recently provided the information to the board, but none of those projects, neither the city hall, police station, we're not even at the design development documents yet. We're working through those. We met just last week on the city hall. We still have some HVAC analysis at the fire station. So the schedule also that was presented to the board doesn't have those happening until like end of the year to come to the board for the initial information contracts to begin those. So we're still in design development.
And I've been on real clear with Mr. Shelton talking about once a month, an update on these projects for the simple reason, even though it was before I was mayor, the backlash I got about Town Square and what really weren't off, I spent a lot of time studying that, what perceived cost overruns they really weren't, they were voted on by this board. Obviously, it was all different board members, except maybe Alderman Hughes. But there was a perception that there was no oversight on town square, that the costs went crazy. And I mean, I haven't heard much about it in the last couple of years, but those first 2 or 3 years as mayor, I heard a lot about that. So I made it very clear that, hey, once a month, I want to know how we're running behind or ahead of time and cost. That it's very important to me. And to, I think the whole board, that once a month, I want an update on where we are with this, so we don't have the same kind of situation we had.
And the resolution obviously contemplates that minimum of monthly update on all of the projects. But to answer your question, the contracts would not be coming over the summer.
I think we do some voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay,
Okay.
The ayes carry it. Next, bill number 2617. I see it's, I think sponsored project passed by Alderman Raymond and Gerber without objection. Would the city clerk read the bill for the first time?
Bill number 2617 is an ordinance approving a conditional use and authorizing a conditional use permit for an accessory structure, a swimming pool located at 13751 Bellcrest Court in the city of Town and Country.
Thank you. This bill 2617 is continued to the meeting of Tuesday, May 26, 2026 for the second reading and consideration. Next, bill number 2618, perhaps sponsored by the board as a whole without objection. Would the city clerk read the bill for the first time?
Bill number 2618 is an ordinance readopting Chapter 120 Code of Ethics of Title I of the City of Town and Country Municipal Code and directing certification to the Missouri Ethics Commission.
Thank you. This bill 2618 is continued to the meeting of Tuesday, May 26, 2026 for the second reading and consideration. Next bill number 2619 also sponsored by the board as a whole without objection. Would the city clerk read the bill for the first time?
Bill number 2619 is an ordinance authorizing a contract with Horner and Schifrin, Inc. for construction, engineering, and material testing services related to the Topping Road Pedestrian Improvements Project Phase 2A.
Thank you. This bill 2619 is also continued to the meeting of Tuesday, May 26, 2026 for the second reading and consideration. Next bill 2620, also board as a whole without objection. Would the city clerk read the bill for the first time?
Bill number 2620 is an ordinance accepting the bid and authorizing an agreement with St. Louis Select Landscaping for the remaining allowable contract years for the 2025 grounds care program.
This bill number 2620 is continued to the meeting of Tuesday, May 26, 2026 for the second reading and consideration. Next bill 2621, perhaps also sponsored by the board as a whole without objection. Would the city clerk read the bill for the first time?
Bill number 2621 is an ordinance authorizing the city administrator to execute an additional services extension to the professional service agreement with Navigate Building Solutions for construction and post-construction consultant services associated with the Public Works Maintenance Annex and Salt Facility Project.
Thank you. This bill 2621 is continued to the meeting of Tuesday, May 26, 2026 for the second reading and consideration. Next bill number 26-22, also sponsored by the board as a whole without objection. Would the city clerk read the bill for the first time?
Bill number 2622 is an ordinance authorizing the city administrator to execute an agreement with LCS LLC for general contracting services in conjunction with construction of the Public Works Maintenance Annex and Salt Facility Project.
Thank you. This bill 2622 is continued to the meeting of Tuesday, May 26, 2026 for the second reading and consideration. Architecture review for the Public Works Maintenance Annex at 849 Salt Mill Road. I seek a motion and second to continue this to May 26, 2026.
so moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion or amendment? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next is approval of staff travel for the Public Works Director to attend the APWA conference in the amount not to exceed $2,716.56. Seek a motion and second to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion or amendment? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I have no other business, open up to the Aldermen if they have anything else they would like to opine about on the agenda, it's not on the agenda. Having said that, I now seek a motion and second to close the meeting pursuant to section 610.0211 and the revised, and 3, the revised statutes of Missouri discuss legal actions, personnel, and attorney-client privilege communications. So, seek a motion
So moved.
and a second. Any discussion? I would ask the city clerk to roll call vote.
Alderman Friedman. Aye. Alderman Sawyer.
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman Gerber.
Aye.
Alderman Harder.
Aye.
And Alderman Hughes.
Aye.
It carries unanimously, and for the record, the board will not return to open session.
Thank you. Very nice.